Japan is the land of anime and a hotbed for martial arts. The Japanese developed karate and judo and were nice enough to travel the world teaching them to everyone else by kicking their ass. From sumo to boxing and shoot fighting, combat sports have always been a part of Japanese culture, and the anime have always been alongside them. Pride FC even had its own manga for a while. That's why many of our favorite shows are influenced by martial arts and martial artists. But in today's video, we'll be focusing on the no-nonsense anime. The anime that train UFC, bro. The best anime with real martial arts. Fist of the North Star. This series takes place in 1990X after the events of World War III, which ended in a nuclear strike, bringing forth a post-apocalyptic age of biker gangs, evil martial artists, and ruthless warlords, all fighting for control of what's left of the world. A world in which only the strong survive, and the strongest of them all is Kenshiro, the 64th successor of an ancient martial arts known as the Fist of the North Star. His job is to bring back peace and order to his chaotic world, but before he can do that, his friend Shin betrays him, leaves him badly wounded, and kidnaps his girlfriend. What a douchebag. Ken goes on a quest to get his girl back and beats a bunch of people up along the way. If I had to describe this show in simple terms, it would be Bruce Lee meets Mad Max on steroids. And it has one of the best theme songs of all time.
Being led to the ring by the musical strains of the theme music of the cartoon The Fist of the North Star, which is a old Japanese cartoon, or anime as it's known.
I'm aiming for one man. Fyodor, you are already dead.
Imagine being such a badass that you not only walk out to the theme song for Fist of the North Star, you also use its catchphrase on Fedor of all people. Good old pride. So when it comes to martial arts anime, Fist of the North Star is an OG as it gets. But even though this show is old, it was very much ahead of its time, and like everything else Bruce Lee inspired, it has no shortage of eye pokes and groin strikes to go along with it.
Oh, yeah, there's no doubt about that. Look at his face.
Tactical nuke incoming!
But my favorite part of this show is when Kenshiro finds a villain who's been pile-driving grandmothers, enslaving children, and wearing dead puppies as hats. As he strikes them with his signature move, they're left paralyzed knowing they have only seconds to live and start begging for mercy. As their final seconds count down, Kenshiro delivers one final go f*** yourself line to send them off into oblivion. Baki, based on the manga by Keisuke Itagaki, which follows a young martial artist looking to prove himself. We'll be focusing on the most recent Netflix adaptation in which Baki is hunted down by a series of dangerous martial artists and psychopathic killers from all over the world. This is only a single arc of the manga, so I recommend reading it or checking out the first anime if you're looking for the full story of Baki. But the Netflix adaptation has no absence of action. The fights are vicious, brutal, with all rules and to the death. Each character embodies a fighting style and approach to violence.
Behind those blows, there's a whole lifetime dedicated to karate.
There's pancration, karate, kung fu, jiu-jitsu, judo, boxing, and whatever this is. The world of Baki is huge. A lot of characters are inspired by real people, like, for example, Mr. Oliva, a Cuban American in his 40s with freak strength and athleticism that devastates his opponents and then tells them he loves them. Sound familiar?
And I've never seen a style of martial arts like that before. It's like what? A lot of protein to get your body to bulk up? Okay.
You know as well as I, there is nothing in this world that could make a man stronger than the power of love.
I love you!
Also, Muhammad Ali is in this show. Yeah, that Muhammad Ali. Baki is a blend of real figures and real martial arts alongside an imaginary cast of otherworldly characters capable of superhuman feats. Kengan Ashura, which follows Oma Tokita, a man who's determined to prove he's the strongest fighter in the world, as he fights his way through the Kengan Annihilation Tournament, an event held on a secret island by the largest corporations in Japan to settle affairs and distribute power.
A one-on-one, uninterrupted fight to the death. Each side chose a combatant whose skill they took pride in, to fight in place of the merchants in order to determine the victor.
Each company has its own fighting representative, and Oma joins the tournament as a backup for the Nogi group.
I declare the commencement of the Kengan Annihilation Tournament!
And who doesn't love a good tournament? They're a favorite of classic anime like Dragon Ball Z, Yu Yu Hakusho, Naruto, Hunter x Hunter, and the list goes on. In Kengan, you have all types of fighting styles, from Jeet Kune Do to Jiu-Jitsu, MMA, Kung Fu, Sumo, Ballet, Lethwei, Karate, you name it. I even found out a couple of new forms of self-defense, like Baritsu from this show. Each episode has a new set of fights, but don't think the story takes a backseat to the action, because there's no shortage of character development, as the fights themselves give us an inside look at the combatants, their backgrounds, go-to techniques, tactics, and motivations. Because of the similarities to Baki and the fact that Baki precedes it, a lot of people think that Kengan Ashura is just a rip-off of Baki, but that couldn't be further from the truth. Baki is a little bit more exaggerated with its fights, Ashura is a little bit closer to real combat, and a little bit more to the point with its storytelling. Both shows are great, but they're just different. And this is something I thought was pretty cool. To my knowledge, Kengan Ashura is the only anime that directly quotes the philosopher Friedrich Nietzsche.
Beyond Good and Evil, Section 146. Those who are battling a monster become a monster themselves in the process. If you gaze long into the abyss will begin to gaze back at you.
The manga takes a reader on a roller coaster ride of excitement and emotions as Oma Tokita leaves everything on the line to achieve his goals. Although the anime adaptation is not complete, it has done a good job of recapturing the overall mood of the manga, and you can't go wrong with either or. Attack on Titan, the show that isn't about martial arts at all, but about naked giants that eat people. Wait, I can explain. Based on the manga by Hajime Isayama, it tells the story of a boy named Eren who vows to rid the world of all the giant humanoid titans that destroyed his hometown and ate his mom. Yikes. Eventually, a war between nations and titans breaks out for control of the planet, and during these Titan fights, we can clearly see that the creator of Attack on Titan is no stranger to martial arts. Many of the exchanges seem to be taken directly from MMA fights, so I decided to put together some of the best examples. Check it out. From Annie's Muay Thai to Reiner's wrestling or Aaron's Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, there's a clear understanding of real combat in this show to go along its mysterious and action-packed storyline. Avatar: The Last Airbender, the classic Nickelodeon show that most of you are familiar with, about a boy named Aang who is also the reincarnation of the Avatar, a powerful being whose job is to maintain peace and order between the 4 great nations of the world. But before starting his training, Aang runs away from his monastery and accidentally ends up frozen in a glacier for a whole century, before being discovered by Sokka and Katara, a pair of siblings from the Water Tribe. With everyone he used to know lost in the past and the Fire Nation waging war on the world, Aang embarks on a quest to master the elements and fulfill his destiny as the Avatar. The movements in Avatar are based on real styles of Kung Fu. Firebending is Northern Shaolin, waterbending is Tai Chi, earthbending is Hung Gar, and airbending is Bagua Zhang. Many modern martial arts can trace the origins back to these ancient forms of Chinese boxing. And not only does the series take from real-world martial arts, but also real religions and philosophies of the East. The most obvious being Buddhism, but also Taoism, Confucianism, and Hinduism, which are often embodied by characters like Uncle Iroh.
Perfection and power are overrated. I think you are very wise to choose happiness and love.
The Swamp Man Hugh.
See, this whole swamp is actually just one tree. One big living organism. Just like the entire world.
The whole world?
Sure. You think you're any different from me, or your friends, or this tree? We all have the same roots and we are all branches of the same tree.
And Guru Pathik, who taught Aang about the Hindu practice of Kundalini Yoga to unlock the chakras and awaken dormant energy in the body.
The sixth pool of energy is the light chakra, located in the center of the forehead. It deals with insight and is blocked by illusion. The greatest illusion of this world is the illusion of separation. Things you think are separate and different are actually one and the same. We are all one people, but we live as if divided.
We're all connected. Everything is connected.
That's right.
And the word avatar itself has its origins in Hinduism and is used to describe the earthly incarnation of a higher being or deity. After rewatching Avatar more than 10 years later, I was amazed. Things that had taken me years of studying and soul-searching to even come close to understanding had already been eloquently explained in a clear and simple fashion by a so-called children's show.
Time is an illusion, and so is death.
I can't recommend this series enough, so if you haven't already watched Avatar: The Last Airbender, what are you waiting for? Other honorable mentions include Hajime no Ippo, Kenichi the Mightiest Disciple, Cowboy Bebop, Samurai Champloo, and Ashita Nojo, just to name a few. But there are many more, so let me know your favorite martial arts anime in the comments. And I know this is different from my usual videos, but if you guys enjoyed it and would like to see more videos like this one, drop a like so I know. And subscribe for more, but until next time, Checkmate MMA, signing out, peace.